Thai Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin could potentially be ousted from office following a ruling by the country's constitutional court tomorrow afternoon. It's due to give a verdict on whether Mr Srettha committed an ethical violation when he appointed a cabinet minister with a prior conviction. CNA's Saksith with more on this case.
For the second time in just as many weeks, Thailand's Constitutional Court is deciding on the fate of a senior Thai political figure. This time it's the Prime Minister that is at risk of losing his job. The judges of the Constitutional Court are scheduled to deliver their verdict in an ethics probe against Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin over a cabinet minister appointment who wasn't qualified for the post due to a past criminal conviction. In late April earlier this year, Pichit Chernban was nominated to become Prime Minister's office minister, raising many eyebrows because of a jail sentence for attempted bribery of court officials all the way back in 2008. According to Thai law, that conviction would disqualify him for public office, let alone a seat in the government cabinet. A group of outgoing senators filed a petition with the Constitutional Court seeking to remove both Prime Minister Srettha and Mr Pichit, saying they're both unqualified for the job, with Mr Srettha breaching moral and ethical standards with his actions. Even though Mr Pichit resigned very quickly in the light of legal troubles, the court still accepted the case. Local media reports say that Mr Srettha argued in his closing statement that he did everything in accordance to the law, and due to his inexperience in public administration, the former property mogul didn't know any better that Mr Pichit was not eligible for the post. However, there's a principle in legal matters that says one cannot escape liability for breaching a law they didn't know about. More crucially, Mr Pichit's name was thrown around for a cabinet seat already last year, just shortly before Mr Srettha was about to begin his premiership, but it was pulled at the last minute because exactly of those concerns of Mr Pichit's past conviction. So what made his nomination less problematic the second time around, that's unknown. Mr Srettha also argued that he did not make any government decisions under the order of former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, widely seen as the patriarch of the ruling Pheu Thai party. Mr Pichit was Thaksin's lawyer representing him in a case over 15 years ago where that attempted bribery took place. Nevertheless, the government and Mr Srettha himself appear to be confident that they will survive the case. CNA understands that the Prime Minister will not attend the verdict reading in person, and his itinerary for the next few weeks also appears to be quite full. With two high-profile court decisions in 2 weeks against both the opposition and the government, there's concern that those could not only deeply disrupt Thailand's political landscape, but that politics is not being decided at the polls or in parliament, but yet again by the courts. Saksith, Saiyasombut, CNA, Bangkok.